Alright, last game of the season here, and it looks like you want a university. There's lots of 5 costs to gain. Library, university library is a nice thing. All the knights you like to gain, and there's some haunted woods if you like. Prince, Prince Magpie, probably what you want to do, but things will probably go not the Prince way. So because you just want to buy other things, and piles will run. There's no time for Prince, I think. So options on opening here, you could go with loan on potion to get your trash in going, but that runs into the issue that your loan can reveal your potion, and then you not only not trash, but you also forego picking up a university, which seems very important here. So an alternative opening is moneylender and loan, and then you can go for the potion, but that still runs into the problem, maybe. Moneylender silver maybe, and then you get the potion later, but I think the potion is just too important to not pick it up turn 1 or 2 or whatever. So I go for a silver alongside, and my opponent goes with the loan, and he's able to trash something, so that's better in that case, right? He's also able to pick up a university, but I don't get anything on my turn 4 because I only had 2 copper, which isn't enough to buy anything useful on the board. So another loan for my opponent, and I'm going to pick up a moneylender here. I do want to start trashing, and look, this is the issue. Right, this is what I didn't want to run into. Now he has to not get the university this shuffle, and that just seems bad. On the other hand, he has 5, which is good for him, and he picks up a knight, right? So I have to be conscious and aware of the knight's battle that could ensue, and a haunted woods for my opponent. So I wasn't sure about the value of haunted woods in this game. I really wasn't sure, but I know that library and university is a thing, so I do end up picking up like 0 haunted woods this game and just going for the libraries, and I'm not sure the impact that had in the deck. Maybe I should have had like 2 or 3 haunted woods and then libraries. That would have been fine. Magpie on 4 here is going to be important. Hopefully it could draw a few things for me. Also provide some kind of cover from the knights, right? I really don't care if it hits the magpies, you could trash those. So more of my first university and another, my first library and another university for me. So I have Natalie, he has Vanda, and I'm not really too keen to pick up Sir Martin, although you probably should, given that is the only source of plus buy in the game. And look, his loan revealed his potion another time here, so that's just real bad news for him. So here I am going to go for Martin, his plus buys, and I could also get the knight below it, right? So if it was Anna below it, that like just scoop up Anna, for example, that'd be real nice. And yeah, I hit this potion with Dame Natalie, and that is pretty bad for him. He can't buy any more universities, and I think you want like 3 or 4 universities here just to get things. Unfortunately, I don't see my university here, so I'm just going to play this library and try to get as close to the end of the shuffle as possible. I have 6, but I have 6 on a potion. So I thought about the university, but Molly does nearly the exact same thing, and I have, what, 3 universities so far, so that should be fine. So my opponent picks up a couple here, which is Bailey and Michael. So Michael isn't the worst thing against the library attack, but if you don't have the library, then it stinks, right? It hurts. And I get Anna, which is nice. It's a bit late, of course, it's quite late actually, but at least I have Anna now. So I'm actually doing real well on the knight split here so far, and it seems like I'll be able to win it, especially drawing into this university. I'm gonna pick up the last 2, so Sylvia is mine, and I'm gonna attack him with Martin here. Killing a magpie is not a big deal. And yeah, I'm gonna pick up Josephine. I forget that he had Haunted Woods in play. I should really get that mod, right? Had I remembered, I'd have played all my coppers and then just had to put the single estate back on top of my deck. Oh well, that's how things go sometimes. Michael comes out and I have no library, so he's gonna hurt. He misses though, and my opponent is getting some haunted woods chains going on here. So he drew from one at the start of this turn, and he played another one here. So his haunted woods are starting to put in some work for him. My library hasn't really done as much. So a 4 for me here. A natural thing to do seems to pick up a magpie. It is what I go for. I'm hoping that all of this comes together at some point. But it isn't really doing that. It isn't doing that so far. Like I have to play Destry just dead here, which isn't great. He kills his loan finally. His loan has betrayed him. You know, discarded his potion, and then eventually I managed to nick his potion. So I do buy something here. I am aware that I was on the Haunted Woods, but I still buy something there because I want to put the university back. Maybe I could find a library. But that's pretty hard to do given that my opponent actually manages to trash one of mine at some point here, which is pretty bad. Like I only had the 2 in the deck, and I really should be gaining more libraries or Haunted Woods even. Like he's um, actually been drawing consistently with his Haunted Woods and putting together turns here, so I'm able to kill one of them with Anna. Pretty nice snipe all in all. But he still has 2 more, and his magpies are doing good work for him here. Yeah, so he seems to have recovered quite a bit. And he has bought back a potion, and he picks up a transmute actually, not a university. So what he's telling me by picking up that transmute is that I'm going to try to rush you on piles. The magpies will run, the knights have already run, and I have some universities which you can't get to, so maybe he could try to run out the Haunted Woods, or I thought the transmute was to get duchies. So he's going to gain lots of actions, then transmute all of them into duchies, push down that pile, and finish the game. So again, I put back the library here. This was just foolish play by me. Like I thought I had a university at the top of the deck, but I don't. So that's just dumb. Just like 100% dumb. And the Haunted Woods attack is actually starting to hurt. Starting to smart here. Like I didn't read or see all of this when looking at the board. Oh, I did have a university, so it's not dumb. Cancel that. But yeah, so the Haunted Woods attack is actually hitting. I didn't even consider it as an attack. I was just looking at it as draw. But the attack is hurting me, having to stick these cards back on top of my deck when I don't really want to. Anti-cycling is so bad. So bad. That's why Ghost Ship is such a menace. So now the game is actually pretty close to ending because he seems to be running the Haunted Woods pile. He has a small points advantage because he hasn't trashed his estates. Josephine is in the bin, which I had. Now Josephine is dead, so I don't have that going for me. I'm going to gain a silver with Natalie here and trash a little bit with Anna. So Natalie misses, and I think Anna doesn't do anything consequential either. He just has too much padding now, right? He has like 100 magpies and 20 haunted woods. It doesn't matter if he loses 1 or 2 of those. And actually, I think, no, not yet. So he gets a couple haunted woods in play here, which is real good for him. He picks up a university, and it's just very, very close to ending, right? He has 3 universities. If he sees them, he'll win. And there's some chance he'll do that with his double haunted woods in place. So I have to go for points right now, but I'm not sure that's going to matter. And it actually doesn't, because he sees all his universities and picks up a province to finish out the game. So yeah, I get rushed. Again, that's magpie pile is a bit of a headache. And yeah, you just have to be able to play around that somehow. It nicely enables some rush strategies. Alright, so that's how the match finishes. I finished the season on 15.5 points, which is okay. Not the greatest, not the best. Hopefully I could learn from my mistakes. I made a lot this season. Alright, thanks for watching.